Yo guys, Jens here, and as you can see, I have the Horde versus Alliance on all of Europe, and the disparity that exists right now in Europe. Now, ain't 100% accurate. It might swing more to the Alliance. It might swing more to the Horde. So, the whole idea that Horde is getting more longer BGQs, that is it's kind of because there's a huge disparity, it's kind of wrong. Now, this is not 100% accurate. That's what you guys need to understand. So I would say probably there are more Horde players because Horde players tend to not really PvE and PvP more. And this is an issue that we are seeing right now with the BGQs. Now, said that, back in the day, Horde had longer BGQs as well, but they never reached the levels of Classic WoW or TBC Classic. You would have around 10 minutes for AV, and for like Eye of the Storm like 5 to 6 minutes. You wouldn't have 1 hour queues. I don't remember ever having a 1 hour queue. It might have happened back in WoD or something, but in TBC this was never true. And there were more Horde plays, and I would even say back in TBC the disparity would be bigger than it's currently in TBC Classic. I might be wrong on that, don't quote me on that one. Now, I've seen some comments, people saying pretty much, mostly our alliance for some reason, saying that horde queues are like a disadvantage of being hordes. And it's not a disadvantage at all, it's just not being able to play the game. And with arenas, this actually is a big problem because horde players can't gear to get into arenas, and all of this has a cascading effect, which results in the ladder being kind of dead. Because if players don't have the gear, they either get stuck at very low ratings or they don't play at all because it's not fun facing a rogue mage, a human rogue mage, as a druid when you have like 20 resilience. Now, I wanted to show you this because these are the values. The disparity is not big. So why is the queue, or why are the queues so big in comparison to back in the day? And there's only one difference. The difference back in the day was that you had BGs, or battle groups. Now, these battle groups were made by Blizzard because they didn't have the technology to have one big battle group. And what they did back in the day was divide the servers between battle groups. And what this did was a kind of balancing out the battle group, which meant that you would have around the same players on Horde side as on an Alliance side, which meant the queues weren't as big. This is what I think it's creating the issue, is having all in one big battle group, and the fact that alliance players don't really like or players that are attracted to alliance don't really like to PvP that much, either because their ratios are not as good like they say, which I'm also gonna demystify that myth, or because the type of player that plays human male warlock, it's not the type of player that plays the same type of player that plays an undead warlock. You like different things. The type of race and all of that. I bet if a doctor or someone who understands this kind of stuff would the type of race and spec and all of that that you play tell a lot about you. I bet, but I can't prove this, and this is a problem that it's very old. Horde players usually like to PvP, Alliance players usually like to PvE. Now, with all of this said, while racials are a big thing in PvE, in the PvE sides, for Horde in PvP it's not the same. Um, for example, and I already gave some examples on my videos, but warrior lock druids, it's stronger on the alliance side because the gnome kind of mitigates the lack of mobility of warriors against mages, for example, or druids. Which means a warrior lock druid on the alliance side has a small advantage. Is that advantage meaningful? Not really. Let's be real, it's not really meaningful. And it's the same can be said about horde racials. Is the advantage of being an undead warlock that big? Not really. I face mostly rogues and warriors anyway, so undead doesn't really give me an advantage over anything. And against other warlocks, if you saw the games I analyzed, like I rarely get feared because you just put tongues on the warlock and you have enough time to LOS the fear anyways. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect the game. The racials ain't as big as people make it seem so in PvP. In PvE, I would say Horde has a pretty huge advantage in terms of racials. But we are talking about PvP. So players keep saying this phrase, and as I'm gonna do this amazing quest, players keep saying this phrase. It's a player-created issue, so the players need to fix it, and that is not really true. If this was back in the day, and the whole thing of TBC Classic is to emulate the feeling that you had back then, and back then you didn't have this type of this type of issue. If the main thing of TBC and classic WoW or any classic World of Warcraft expansion that they release is to emulate the feeling you had back in the day, then they need to fix this because this was never true back in the day. And if it's never true back in the day, even though it's a player created issue, which I don't believe it is, it's just like it is and it isn't. Like it is on the aspect that PvP players get attracted by Horde, and most PvPers went Horde. Not really because the ratios were OP, but for example, if my teammate goes Horde, I'm going Horde as well, right? Is the one I'm gonna play with. And if I don't really care, like, which I don't, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, I played both Alliance and both Horde. I don't have any feelings towards any faction. All I see is like my character. I have feelings towards my characters. I don't care if they're undead or a gnome, and I don't care about this whole faction war, which is kind of cringy to be honest. Anyone who thinks the other faction should suffer, it's cringe as fuck because it's a video game, and you can just I don't know, you can just kill them on World of Warcraft, but when we are on the forums, we should be nice to each other. Like, is that asking too much? But yeah. Anyways, the ratios are not as OP as people think, and the disparity is not as big. So I was going through to comment on some comments, but once I started to read them, I'm gonna leave them on my last video, every single comment. Once I started to read them, I got so pissed because people are so stupid. It's not, they're just stupid. People are stupid. On both sides. One saying that it's what you get for going Horde, and another one saying, "Oh, let's corpse camp the Alliance until they ask Blizzard to fix the queues." Like, what? Like both factions have some guys that have issues in real life or something. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is an issue that needs to be fixed. That's all I know. If they add mercenary mode, if they add faction change, if they add anything else, I don't care at this point. What I don't want is increased honor. I think that would be the worst fix because you still have to wait in a 1 hour queue. And even though you would get the gear, like after gear, arena it's not the only way to have PvP. You have BGs, and if you just want to do some BGs for fun, you can't. So I would rather them like adding Horde versus Horde and just overall like fixing the issue instead of the symptoms, which is gear. But yeah, guys, all I want to ask is if you're Alliance or Horde, this is not Horde versus Alliance. this is the problem is Horde players can't play. Okay, like even if Alliance players go onto the comment section and start to be stupid, you don't really have to be stupid to them, you know, like just ignore them, to be honest. It's what I'm trying to do, and but it's really hard because people come up with the most retarded shit. And on the racial side, like WLD, RMP, Roguelock Priest, and Roguelock Druid, all of those comps are as good on the Alliance side as on the Horde side. So, myself included, I didn't make a choice to go Horde because it's OP. I made the choice because I like the undead animations for Warlocks and casters in general. And that's it. Fucking shocker. He didn't went Horde because Will of the Forsaken is completely broken. Which is not. Let's be honest. Being a dwarf priest, for example, it's way better. You face a rogue, he puts mind numbling on you, you use the dwarf racial, you remove mind numbling, wound and crippling, and you top yourself. It's like an extra defensive cooldown. Come on guys, let's be smart, okay? Let's not overreact. Yes, they are better in PvE, but no, you're not losing arena games or not clearing an heroic dungeon or a fucking raid because you're on the alliance side. You're failing on those things because you got outplayed by the other team first. Second, maybe your guild is not good enough for that. I don't know. I know it's a new idea that players sometimes are just bad and it's not the racials themselves, but yeah, guys, I'm I'm not. I didn't clear Karazhan because I'm undead and have Will of the Forsaken and I can will out of the Nightbane Fury. Woo! I had a shaman on my group, which spammed fucking Tremor as well. Guys, chill, okay? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'm waiting to for my rogue. And by the way, I'm fully PvP geared, so but it still affects me because my teammates ain't. And it's so funny. They try to get into a BG and they just can't. They just can't. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. I was about to go on a huge rant and say retard like I do many times, but I actually tried to keep it cool. I'm gonna admit though, this is the second time I record this video because on the first one I went completely fucking berserk on a guy that just commented on my last video, and on the second one I went berserk still, fucking berserk stance going ham, and on this one I tried to be a little bit more chill, but it's hard when you go into the forums or you go into your own YouTube videos and you see people so clueless that they don't even know the year they are in and probably don't know COVID is a thing and that human solidarity overall, not only in real life but also in games, should be a thing. Um, and that the fact that you're not like supporting people. This Zanvan guy, it's not only a human rogue, he's also a person that is moving that character. Or maybe a bot, it's a rogue, you never know, but you understand what I'm saying, right? And if this guy couldn't get into a BGQ, I would be making a video saying that this guy should be able to get into a BGQ, okay? It's not because I'm Horde. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, subscribe if you can. It doesn't really cost you anything. And support the channel. I'm yeah not really doing this full time, but it's always nice to reach out to more people. My goal is not really to make money out of YouTube, it's to reach out and help out as many people as I can. If they are warlocks better. Um, and yeah, that's it. Just chill. It's not Horde versus Alliance. It's about the players and about making TBC Classic and Wrath of the Lich King Classic next time. Just make it a better experience for everyone, not only fucking Horde or Alliance. Okay, guys? Hope you enjoyed it. See ya. Peace.